Hi there, Jeff with Matheson Group Realty. Matheson Group Realty news for February 2025. The stats are in for January of 2025, and the numbers are a little skeptical right now with what we've seen so far in January, but the market is still very optimistic on what's going to happen here in Ottawa for 2025. We saw roughly about 617 units sold in January of 2025, and this is a decrease of about 4.2% from January of 2024. Where the skepticism is coming is there's some geopolitical things that are happening in the market that are holding some buyers back to get into the market, and sellers are a little bit scared on what's going to happen here in the markets here in Ottawa as well, and in Canada in general. With the tariff threat being put in place until the end of February, there's a little bit of unknown and uncertainty. But all indicators are that interest rates are going to continue to drop here in Canada, which is causing a little bit more optimism towards the end of February. But with regards to the stats of January, the average benchmark price for a single family home was roughly about $713,000, which is 2.3% on a year-over-year basis from January of 2025. By comparison, the benchmark price for a townhome was roughly about $448,000, which is down 3.9% compared to a year earlier in 2024. And the benchmark apartment price was roughly about $436,000, which is up 4.5% from last January of 2024. So the average price of homes in Ottawa for January 2025 was roughly $670,000, and that increased 5.8% from January of 2024. The number of new listings we saw had a really nice increase starting the year in January. We're up over 3% from January 2024, and there were roughly about 1,359 new residential listings in January 2025, and this is up 14.1% above the 5-year average and 9.3% above the 10-year average in January. So you can see more listings are starting to hit the market. More sellers are starting to come in. Last year was a more difficult year for sellers, so a little more optimism for sellers to start coming in the market here in 2025. Also, we saw active residential listings numbered over 3,000 units on the market by the end of January of 2025. This is a massive gain. This is 57.3% gain from January of 2024, and active listings were roughly 90% above the 5-year average and 48% above the 10-year average for the month of January. So a lot of listings hit the market in January. We're starting to see inventory build as well. So great opportunity for buyers now that we're seeing more inventory, and months of inventory are sitting around 5.4 months by the end of January of 2025, compared to about 3.3 months of inventory in January of 2024. So basically, we're really looking at a balanced market right now in the Ottawa real estate market. This is a great time for sellers and buyers. There is some really good opportunities in some pockets of Ottawa. There's some areas that we consider buyer market in Ottawa. So if you're a buyer, reach out to us. We can give you those ideas and opportunities where to look for a home where we're seeing more of a buyer market. We're still very optimistic here in the Ottawa Real Estate Board with regards to what we're going to see from a sales activity standpoint. As interest rates continue to come down, we'll see more sales activity happening here in Ottawa. Great opportunities for buyers to get in the market in the first half of this year. Stay tuned. We'll keep you up to date. As these interest rates start coming down, we'll see another one on March 12th. That should impact the market. And then at the end of February this month with the tariff decision, we'll see what's happening there. We'll keep you up to date on how that's also going to impact the real estate market. So stay tuned.